The main character's name is Ayano Koji. He is sitting on a bus and thinking about humanity when at one of the stops an old lady gets on the bus. Ayano Koji looks around and sees that no one gives up their seat. After he arrives at the school, which is considered the best in Tokyo, and after which students have all roads open to various important positions in Japan, a girl who was riding with him asks why he did not give up his seat. He replies that he just wanted to see if someone else would do it. Horikita states that she basically does not give up her seat, and from her behavior it is clear that she is a person with a low opinion of those around her. Then the students of the first year Class D of the senior high school get to know each other. The main character is named Ayano Koji. He is unsociable, calm, and seemingly closed off with no special interests. In the class, he sits next to the same arrogant girl from the bus. The most sociable girl in the class who wants to be friends with everyone is named Kushida. The introduction process is interrupted by Suda, who says that this is all a game for little kids. Then the teacher enters the class. She begins to tell the students about the school rules. The school is located on a closed campus. Students live in dormitories throughout their studies. The campus has everything necessary: stores, cafes, restaurants, cinemas, etc. There is also a special system for evaluating students. They earn individual points for achievements, which are used as real money. 1 point equals 1 yen. At the start of the studies, everyone is credited with 100,000 points. As expected, most students quickly start spending this money. Only a few suspect something and do not rush. Ayano Koji meets his classmate and neighbor in a store, Horikita. She talks to him, and it turns out she is the sister of the student council president, Manabu Horikita, the most influential student in the school. Kushida tries to befriend Horikita, but she pushes her away. Seeing that Horikita is talking to Ayano Koji, Kushida asks him to lure Horikita to a cafe where she accidentally sits down with them, but Horikita simply leaves. The studies go carefree. Students chat during lessons, play on their phones, are late. A month passes. When the time comes to top up their accounts, there is no money. The teacher says that this class is just trash, and she doesn't think everything will change easily. She explains that the school has a system that tracks all students' actions. There are individual and overall class points. All achievements and failures are recorded, but what exactly counts is what is kept secret. Students cannot transfer from one class to another, and a class is defined by its prestige. Class D is considered the worst. The total class points determine its status, and depending on the presence or absence of points, students receive money. Since the class behaved very badly during the month, they have only a few points left and no money was credited. If one class earns more points than another, it takes that class's letter. For example, Class D can become Class C, and Class C can take Class D's place. The teacher announces that the class has a chance to improve points on midterm exams, and those who do not pass will be expelled. Horikita invites Ayano Koji to a cafe, treats him to lunch, and offers help to weak students so that the class points do not drop. At first, Ayano Koji talks to them himself, but they refuse, so he asks Kushida, and she, using her popularity, lures them to the library. But it ends with Horikita pushing the boys too hard, and they angrily leave. In the evening, Ayano Koji accidentally overhears a conversation between Horikita and her brother on the street. It becomes clear that the only person she fears is her brother. After this, Manabu tries to hit her, but at the moment of the strike, Ayano Koji intervenes. Manabu tries to hit Ayano Koji, but he skillfully dodges. Surprised, Manabu praises him and says he is not an ordinary person like the others. It turns out Ayano Koji is deliberately passing the midterms, scoring exactly 50 points in each subject. The day of the exams comes, and strangely, everyone passes, even the weak students. Then, a flashback. Ayano Koji walks through a park and sees Suzu, a student who was previously one of the weakest in the school. Upperclassmen attack him. He offers Suzu to meet with Horikita, but Suzu refuses and goes to basketball practice, after which Horikita herself meets him and gives him tutoring, not for herself, but for him. Then, Ayano Koji arranges with upperclassmen from another class to buy exam answers, but asks Kushida to distribute them to classmates so it looks like she found them, because he does not want to be the center of attention. On the day of the results announcement, it turns out Suzu is the only one who did not pass the exams. The teacher wants to expel him, but Ayano Koji convinces her to sell Suzu's points to him. The teacher agrees. After that, students throw a party in Ayano Koji's room. When everyone has left, he notices Kushida's phone and decides to catch up with her to return it. Accidentally, he notices the real Kushida. She vents her anger on a fence because Horikita annoys her a lot. At the moment Ayano Koji was looking at this, his phone rang, giving him away. When he approached her, she placed his hand on her chest and said that if he told anyone about what he had seen, she would expel him from school. Ayano Koji agrees. Then the action moves to Class B. where Ichino studies. The teacher there drinks, so the class is left to themselves. The students are happy that they earned many points and praise Ichinos for organizing the preparation. After classes, Ayano Koji meets with Kushida and Horikita, and they go to lessons together. Although Class D passed the exams, the recount of individual points is delayed due to technical problems. After classes, Ichinos wants to talk to Ayano Koji alone and confesses that she received a love confession but does not reciprocate. She asks Ayano Koji to pretend to be her boyfriend, but he advises her to just talk to the girl who loves her. Then, the upperclassmen who had a conflict with Suzu plan revenge using first-year students. The teacher announces that a complaint was filed against Suzu saying he beat a basketball club member, but Suzu says it was self-defense. Evidence is needed for the investigation. Together, they find out that there was a witness who saw that Suzu was actually defending himself. Horikita says she thinks it might be Sakura. The next day, Kushida tries to talk to her, but Sakura walks away. However, she later agrees to help and asks Kushida and Ayano Koji to go to an electronics store to fix a video camera, but she's afraid to go alone. Ayano Koji helps her and says it is better to tell the school council everything, not for Suzu, but for themselves. Then Kushida tells that she found a photo of Sakura on the internet, basically saying she is like an OnlyFans model and the student is only her image. The camera footage confirms that Suzu was just defending himself. However, another problem arises. Another class, upperclassmen, do not want to back down. They demand a public apology from Suzu or promise to cause him serious trouble. Suzu hesitates. Ayano Koji approaches the upperclassmen and negotiates on his terms. Offering a compromise, they back down, and their representative receives points for participating in conflict resolution. As a result, the situation is resolved without expulsion or consequences for Suzu. After that, Sakura finds photos of herself taken secretly in the mailbox and realizes that fans found her there. Later, during a conversation between Ichinos and Ayano Koji, Sakura calls him and says she is in danger. The same technician from the store caught up with her and wants to fulfill his dirty fantasies with her. But Ayano Koji arrives on time and calls the police, after which the technician is arrested. When Horikita and Ayano Koji leave the school, she realizes that it was not she who came up with this plan, but he always directs her. Ayano Koji has a flashback where he is a child standing in a strange place, and the same child falls next to him choking while he stands emotionlessly watching. After the holidays, the school announces a new exam format, Island Exam. Students of all 4 classes, A, B, C, and D, are dropped on a deserted island. They have to survive there for a week using limited resources. The conditions are, each class has a base camp, a limited supply of food and tools. They can earn points by solving tasks and occupying strategic points. Each class chooses a leader, but this information is kept secret. At the end of the week, classes can earn extra points if they guess the leaders of their opponents. Ayano Koji suggests Horikita as the leader. She agrees. After setting up camp, the heroes find a girl from Class C in the forest and take her with them. In the evening, it also turns out that Koenji escaped from the island, so Class D will lose points. Episode 10 begins with a new flashback of Ayano Koji, where he is writing some great paper. Someone approaches him and says that people who have power but do not use it are just fools. The next day, everyone goes about their business. Ayano Koji and the group go scouting. On Class B's territory, everyone works very harmoniously. Order reigns, and a guy from Class C also joins them. Class A hides in a cave. When the group approaches it, they are almost beaten with sticks. Class C is enjoying paradise life. Their leader, Ryuan, decided to spend all the class points on the very first day. Ayano Koji guessed that Ryuan's strategy was to not participate in the exam, since it was based on freedom of choice. The next day, scouts from classes B and D discovered that Class C had left the island. In the morning, it was revealed that someone had stolen underwear from one of the girls in Class D. All the girls insisted on checking all the boys' bags. It turned out that one guy had stolen the underwear, but he claimed someone had planted it on him. In the confusion, he shoved Ayano Koji's underwear into his bag, so Ayano Koji had to hide them. During the search, Hirata noticed the underwear with Ayano Koji, but said nothing. Later, Ayano Koji admitted he didn't steal the underwear. Hirata believed him and asked to find the real culprit. After that, the girls demanded to split the camp into 2 parts, so the boys began moving the tents. A girl from Class C realized that all the boys were accusing her, but Ayano Koji told her he trusted her. Later, during fishing, some boy insulted Horikita and paid the price for it, but she still had to take a bath, during which her leader card was stolen. She confessed this only to Ayano Koji. They decided to keep it secret for now and suspected the girl from Class C. While they were talking, they saw a fire break out in the camp. They managed to put it out, but then everyone noticed Ibuki was missing. Hirata caught up with her and asked for the leader card back, but got hit instead. A fight started. Haruhita skillfully stopped Ibuki, but Ibuki landed a sharp blow and knocked Haruhita down. Ibuki confessed she stole the card. When Hirata asked about the fire, she feigned ignorance. Then someone appeared to whom she handed over the card. Later, Ibuki dug out a radio and informed Class A that she had the card. Ayano Koji helped Hirata up and they talked. Pressing on her carotid artery, Ayano Koji said he would handle everything himself and took her to the shore, where she received help. The exam ended, everyone lined up on the beach, and the administration began announcing results. Suddenly, Ryuen appeared. He had secretly stayed on the island. Then all the moves were explained. On the first day, Ryuen and Kazuaki made a deal. Ryuen gave all the Class A's items to them, and Kazuaki gave Ryuen all the leaders' names with photo proof. Ryuen made 2 girls from his class spies, one of whom was Ibuki. Then Class C spent all their points in one day and returned to the ship, leaving only Ryuen behind, who had been eating snakes on the island all along. Later, he got a leak about Class A's leader. Then Ibuki brought him Class D's leader card, which he passed to Kazuaki. When the results were announced, something incredible happened. Class C placed last with 0 points, Class A took second with 140 points, and Class D was first with 225 points. All the classes returned to the ship, and we learned Ayano Koji's cunning plan. When Haruhita was eliminated, he secretly replaced the leader with himself. Noticing Ibuki was spying on their class, he broke the camera that was supposed to take pictures of the cards. Then he allowed her to steal Haruhita's card, set the camp on fire so Ibuki could escape, and identified all the leaders except Class B's. Later, Hirata told him who it was at his request. Thus, Class D was the only one to correctly name the leaders, while the others lost points. Everyone praised Haruhita because Hirata told them it was her idea at Ayano Koji's request. Later, the teacher called Ayano Koji for a talk, praised his work, and said his father had called the school. Then she left. At the end of the season, we see a conversation between Haruhita and Ayano Koji, where she says she considers him her friend. Then we hear the legendary inner monologue of the main character.
But Haruhita, I've never considered you an ally, not even for a second. Not you, not Kushida, not Hirata. People are nothing but tools to me, all of them. I don't care what I have to do to win. I don't care what I have to sacrifice. In this world, winning is everything. And in the end, I'm going to win. That's all that matters.